take a breath. Not the kind you take without thinking, but the kind that reaches your soul. What you're about to hear isn't for the masses. It's for the few, the rare, the ones who have always felt different, even when they couldn't explain why. If something inside you has always whispered that you were born for more, this is your moment. You didn't land here by accident. You were led. And not just today, but your entire life has been quietly building to this point. You've carried things others couldn't. You've seen what others missed. You've survived what should have crushed you. And still, something in you rises. That's not coincidence. That's calling. There have been signs your whole life. Subtle, sacred, persistent. Maybe you've dismissed them. Maybe others tried to silence them. But deep down, your spirit never forgot. And now, it's time to remember. This is not just a message. It's a mirror. One that will show you what's always been true. You are chosen. You are marked. And the traits you thought were random, they're proof. Heaven doesn't make mistakes, and you were designed with intention. So, before we go any further, I want to invite you to lean in fully. Join this movement, subscribe, and connect with others who are waking up just like you. You're not alone anymore. This is your space, your tribe, your moment. Let's uncover the truth together, because your story is only just beginning. If you feel the abundance of divine love filling your heart, now is the perfect time to share it. By clicking the super thank you button on YouTube and contributing $50 or more, you can help spread God's blessings far and wide. Your offering will not only touch your own life, but also reach countless souls through this platform. Each of you holds a sacred place in God's magnificent plan, and your generosity will be the answer to many prayers. Take action now. Share your blessings to honor His kingdom, for you were created to accomplish even greater works through His loving hands. May God's grace be with you. Some individuals arrive in this world already carrying echoes of a calling, etched into their skin before they ever speak a word. These distinctive marks, unusual shapes, subtle patterns, or singular imprints, are not always as random as they seem. In certain lives, they are more than just pigmentation. They are embedded signals, quiet witnesses to a purpose rooted in something far beyond the visible. These marks can be found in unexpected places and often carry a unique presence. They may look like ancient scripts, abstract impressions, or energy signatures that seem to pulse differently when observed with spiritual eyes. From childhood, those who bear them often feel an inexplicable awareness, an intuition that this visible difference is connected to something deeper. It's not uncommon for these individuals to sense that they were marked with intent, as though the body itself was chosen as a vessel to carry sacred memory. The divine has long used the physical form as a message board for destiny. Through symbols, pain, transformation, or imprint, the body has always whispered truths the mind hasn't yet learned to translate. These markings don't merely exist, they speak. They tend to draw notice, sometimes even in moments charged with emotion or clarity. There are testimonies of people whose marks shift in color, heat, or visibility during times of deep prayer, overwhelming insight, or spiritual alignment. Others recount dreams in which these markings appear with heightened clarity, or messages that align with the precise shape and location of their imprint. It's not vanity, it's validation. If you feel God's presence, you can tap the join button below to become part of the first chosen ones and receive the most important revelations early. If this stirs something within you, do not dismiss it. That nudge you feel could be the beginning of a revelation. Ask for discernment. seek understanding. What seems like a surface detail could be a divine reminder, a quiet declaration that long before the world had plans for you, something greater had already spoken your name into purpose. In some lives, the journey begins before memory. And in those lives, even the skin remembers what the soul is only just beginning to reclaim. He heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds. Psalm 147, verse 3. Imagine a tree standing alone in the middle of a field. Storm after storm has tried to take it down. Lightning, wind, drought, cold. But every time, it's still standing. And not only does it stand, it thrives. Its bark may carry the memory of battles, but its roots go deep, and its branches still reach for the heavens. That's you. That's who you are. You don't just bounce back, you grow back stronger, because there's something in you that's been sealed by heaven itself. See, some folks go through life thinking their strength is just a personality trait or good genes. But if you're honest, you've always known something about your recovery, your resilience, hasn't quite made sense. You've been through things that could have, should have, would have stopped most people. And yet you're still moving, still believing, still building. That's not luck. That's legacy. The divine doesn't waste time on random. You were never built to be average, and your healing isn't ordinary either. You've got a kind of restoration that feels accelerated, even supernatural. Maybe you've noticed it, maybe you haven't, but the signs are there. A deep cut that heals faster than expected, a bruise that fades too soon, a season of grief that didn't bury you but somehow opened you. That's not science alone. That's spirit. That's divine reinforcement for someone who's been marked to carry something heavy. And let me tell you something, God doesn't build tanks for flat roads. He builds them for warfare. That's why you're made the way you are. That's why you recover like you do. Because the calling on your life comes with battles most people don't even see, but heaven does. And heaven prepared you. That preparation shows up in how your body bounces back, how your emotions don't drown you, and how even when you feel like quitting, something in you won't let go. Some folks carry medicine in their hands, others in their voices. You carry it in your recovery. You're the proof that restoration is possible. That broken doesn't mean done. That wounded doesn't mean worthless. And if you ever wondered why you didn't break when everything around you did, this is your answer. You've been built for return, for revival, for resilience. That strength doesn't just live in your body, it pulses through your spirit. You've learned to get back up when it doesn't make sense, to keep walking when you don't have all the answers. And somehow, some way, joy starts to return. Peace finds its way back to you. That's not accidental. That's alignment. You were designed to carry light through dark spaces, and light can't afford to stay broken. That's why heaven keeps putting you back together faster than anyone expects. Not just for your sake, but for the people watching, waiting, needing to know that healing is real. So if you've ever wondered why you heal like you do, why pain doesn't stay stuck to you, why you feel scraped one day and steady the next, this is why. Because chosen ones don't carry ordinary blueprints. You carry spiritual immunity. It's not that you don't face harm, it's that harm doesn't hold you. You are, and always have been, one of the few built to rise, built to endure, built to carry the mission forward even when your hands are trembling. That's why you recover. That's why you restore. That's why you glow again after the fire. Because you weren't meant to be crushed. You were meant to conquer. And your healing is heaven's way of reminding the world they can't keep down what God lifted up. You're not just surviving, you're chosen. And chosen always comes with evidence. The body of someone chosen doesn't just survive, it adapts, it regenerates. The ability to heal faster than most isn't vanity, it's part of your preparation. What burdens others only molds you. And even when you feel worn, something unseen is already working to restore what's been shaken. You are not being spared pain. You are being trained for persistence. Every time your body rebounds, it affirms a deeper truth. You're not being kept safe out of fragility, but out of necessity. Your mission is too vital for prolonged delay. There are also those whose very form tells a different story, one not written with ink, but with the blue rivers pulsing just beneath the skin. Prominent veins, clearly mapped across hands, arms, or other places, often go overlooked or dismissed as mere anatomy. But for those with spiritual eyes, they whisper something more. Life flows visibly through you, not hidden, not subtle, but declared. These lines are not just vessels, they are signatures. In moments of profound emotion or sacred connection, they seem to rise, pulsing not just with blood, but with purpose. In quiet prayer, in stillness, in surrender, something in the body shifts. The hands begin to tingle, warmth travels the arms. The channels of life beneath the skin respond as if awakened. You might have thought it was simply biological, maybe even dismissed it. But the truth is, what carries vitality through you also carries divine current. Some chosen ones even describe these veins forming shapes, grids, paths, unexplainable patterns that echo sacred geometry. These aren't hallucinations, they are alignments. This is your moment. Hit subscribe now and step into something greater. Don't miss out. Your body, without your asking, bears the marks of movement, proof that you're not stagnant, that you are a living, breathing conduit of something greater. These veins tell a story not everyone will see, but one that becomes more obvious in the presence of the divine. The patterns are more than coincidence. They're reminders. You are not still. You are not empty. You are not common. The current within you flows with reason. Every pulse is a declaration. You are a carrier of sacred flow, designed not just to survive, but to activate. Dear brothers and sisters, may the peace of God fill your hearts today. I come to remind you of a profound truth. Our lives are firmly established in God's divine purpose, untouched by the fleeting worries of this world. As Scripture tells us, give, and it will be given to you. A good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over, will be poured into your lap. Luke 6:38. Like the mighty oak, whose roots are planted deep in rich soil, our foundation is anchored in God's eternal truth. Every move we make, every stand we take, is upheld by His enduring strength. Today, you have the opportunity to participate in this divine blessing. By clicking the Super Thank You button and offering a gift of $100, you will sow into a harvest that will return to you many times over in God's abundant grace. Some of you carry a rhythm in your body that defies the ordinary. You cut, and it grows back faster than expected. You trim it, and it returns stronger, as though something within refuses to be diminished. This isn't just about appearance. It's a message encoded in the very strands of your being. For some, hair grows at a pace that seems to ignore logic, a sign of unseen vitality pulsing within. It is as if your form echoes the truth your soul is only beginning to comprehend. You're designed to regenerate, to recover, to outlast whatever tries to reduce you. Hair, throughout spiritual history, has always been more than a feature. It's been a symbol of covenant, of covering, of divine alignment. And when growth becomes accelerated, almost relentless, it's not just about biology, it's about spiritual resilience. There's something in you that continues forward even when resistance arises. Even when attempts are made to suppress you, you renew, you return. You bloom again, not from vanity, but from necessity. That repeated emergence is not accidental. It is inherited proof that what flows through you refuses to fade. This trait reflects more than just durability. It reflects a spirit that's wired for rebirth. You were never meant to stay diminished. Your presence reclaims space even after being trimmed back. This kind of growth is prophetic. It speaks of divine momentum. The energy that flows through you is marked by continuity, and the way your body expresses that is through renewal. So next time you look in the mirror and notice how quickly you've returned to fullness, remember, it's not superficial. It's spiritual code showing itself in a physical form. If you feel God's presence, you can tap the join button below to become part of the first chosen ones and receive the most important revelations early. Look closer at your hand. One detail easily overlooked might be speaking something deeper. If the finger often used to direct, to signal, to command, the one that naturally rises ahead of the rest, is longer than what many consider the hand's emblem of strength, you might carry a trait rarely talked about, yet ancient in meaning. That disproportion isn't random. In the lives of those marked with calling, the smallest sign often holds the loudest message. This isn't about dominance, it's about divine orientation. That particular difference suggests insight, forward sight, and the responsibility of guiding others into clarity. Those with this physical alignment often move through life as natural pathfinders. They don't force attention, but draw it through calm authority. They walk into rooms, and direction subtly shifts. They speak rarely, but what they say lingers. Their presence carries compass energy, quiet, certain, unmistakable. It goes further than influence. Those marked this way often carry heightened sensitivity to unseen realities, changes in atmosphere, shifts in emotion, unseen layers of meaning. They feel it all. Their role isn't to dominate, it's to discern. And they often lead not from platforms, but from presence. If your hand bears this subtle variation, know that you've been patterned for leadership not by choice, but by design. You've been formed to offer direction when others can't see the path. That's not a coincidence, it's a clue, a signal that the way you're wired physically mirrors the way you've been equipped spiritually, to illuminate, to guide, and to lead with vision that transcends sight. There are individuals whose very presence shifts the atmosphere the moment they enter a space, not because of loudness or display, but because something unspoken settles in around them. Their posture carries an ancient stillness, a grounded certainty that isn't learned, it's inherited. These are the ones who walk with a natural calm, as though something immovable rests within their chest. Their back remains straight, even under invisible weight. Their silence speaks louder than most shouts, and their eyes don't wander. They anchor. This is not charisma, it is embodiment. Even without trying, they draw attention. Their steps aren't hurried. Their movements don't seek approval. There's a steady alignment in them that defies chaos, an internal order that radiates outward. This strength isn't something they practice, it was sown into them. Often since childhood, they've been the ones people turn toward without knowing why. Strangers feel safe, leaders grow silent, conflict either softens or reveals itself in their presence. That's because truth doesn't shout, but it does reveal, and they carry it. Their bodies communicate what their words rarely have to. They've been shaped, for something greater, not to command through force, but to guide through grounded being. Even in moments of uncertainty, they hold center. Even when the world leans sideways, they remain upright. Their very alignment challenges the false. It offers peace or exposes illusion. If you've noticed that your stance never falters even when everything shakes, if you've witnessed people shift simply because you entered the room, know this isn't coincidence. It's spiritual architecture. You are built to influence, not by effort, but by essence. Sometimes the body speaks long before the voice does. There are those who experience a strange heat in their hands, not from friction, not from temperature, but from something deeper, rising to the surface. This warmth doesn't come in ordinary moments. It arrives during sacred silence, in the stillness of meditation, in the electricity of prayer, or while offering comfort with a touch. It's not random. It's a signal. Something within is activating. Something unseen is flowing outward. These aren't just physical reactions, they're confirmations. The heat isn't a byproduct of emotion. It's movement. It's energy being drawn to the surface for a purpose. Many who are marked this way often think it's a medical quirk or their imagination, until they begin to see the pattern. Hands warming during intercession, healing, encouragement, or sacred moments. It's the body's way of transmitting what the soul already knows. You've been entrusted with touch that changes things. This isn't about being special, it's about being chosen as a vessel. The hands were never just for labor. In some lives, they become conduits, instruments through which healing, restoration, and unseen power move. When that warmth arises, it's not simply sensation, it's participation. Something within you is aligning with something above you. Whether or not you speak, your presence begins the work. That heat is the quiet flame of purpose. And if you felt it, especially when someone near you is hurting or in need, don't dismiss it. That moment was not small, it was sacred. Your body remembers what your mind is only beginning to understand. You are a carrier of divine current, and your hands were always meant to pass it on. Some of you have walked through storms that should have ended you, and yet you're still here, standing, breathing, moving forward with a strength that defies explanation. There's a reason. You've been crafted with an inner architecture that doesn't collapse under pressure. This isn't ordinary endurance. It's something woven into your very being, shaped not by effort, but by calling. While others may need to retreat, you continue. When fatigue sets in, something deeper wakes up within you. What looks like stamina from the outside is actually spiritual reinforcement, divine endurance, cloaked in human form. This strength doesn't announce itself with muscle or noise. It shows up quietly in your ability to remain present when everything else starts to fade, in your refusal to crumble under burdens that would shake most. You've been through nights that drained your breath, challenges that rewrote your path, but you didn't disappear. You adjusted, you rebuilt, not from ego, but from necessity. Your energy isn't just biological, it's sacred fuel, assigned to you for the mission you carry. And when the world expects your knees to buckle, you rise again and again because there's more inside you than pain. Even illnesses that once threatened your balance failed to dismantle you. You came back, not by chance, but because you've been chosen to continue. You're being fortified for something beyond the usual. Your resilience is the proof. It's heaven's whisper, wrapped in motion. You're still needed. Keep going. That's why you endure. Because what's within you wasn't designed to give out. It was created to carry light through the densest shadows. Then there are those who hear the world differently, not just with their ears, but with their soul. They catch sounds that others dismiss, frequencies that linger in silence, whispers that pulse through stillness, vibrations not born from the natural world, but tuned from elsewhere. This heightened sense isn't random, it's refinement, a sacred tuning placed in specific hearts so they can discern what's hidden beneath the noise. It's not about sharp hearing, it's about spiritual reception. Now is the moment to share God's blessings by clicking the Super Thank You button on YouTube. With a donation of $100 or more, you can actively participate in His divine mission and contribute to His greater plan. Every offering you make reflects the boundless generosity of God, and I trust it will return to you abundantly, far exceeding your hopes. Always remember, His protection and blessing accompany your every step and every act of giving. You are a vital part of His sacred design. You are strong and radiant, steadfast like His mighty rock. Experience God's miracles, feel the rewards of your generosity deep within your soul, and shine your light with boldness and faith. May you be richly blessed, and may the light of the Lord continually guide your journey. These aren't hallucinations or tricks of the imagination. They're messages, and those chosen to receive them often recognize the patterns early, moments when sound arrives in prayer, in pause, in pain, a faint name, a low hum, a pressure in the air that carries weight without volume. What you're picking up on isn't illusion, it's instruction. You're being trusted with fragments of direction, comfort, or caution. And the reason others can't hear it isn't because it isn't real, it's because it's not for them. You might have grown up confused, wondering why no one else seemed to notice what was so clear to you. Maybe you were told to ignore it, to suppress it, but now you understand. Your hearing was never broken. It was blessed. Your role is to listen beyond the obvious, to detect what isn't spoken, to respond when others still sleep. This isn't just sensitivity, it's spiritual signal. And the ones who carry it are not merely aware, they are called to action. If you hear what others do not, honor it, refine it, seek wisdom, because hearing the divine requires clarity, courage, and reverence. You weren't given this gift to be overwhelmed, you were given it to intervene, to perceive, and to guide. You're not just hearing sound, you're translating heaven. Some people are born carrying a quiet message, carved into the very structure of their hands, an inscription not made by man, but woven in the moment of creation. If you've ever paused to study the intricate designs on your palms and felt drawn to a particular pattern, a shape that doesn't fade, or a symbol that seems too intentional to be random, understand this. Your body may be echoing something far greater than coincidence. Hands, after all, are the instruments of action, the gateways through which we shape, serve, and bless. When divine purpose is embedded into someone's path, it often leaves traces right there, etched into the very tools they'll use to carry out that mission. These markings aren't about superstition. They are like spiritual etchings, signatures of something ancient awakening in modern form. Some might see an unfamiliar glyph, others a recurring curve or geometric form that seems to pulse with meaning. It's more than curiosity, it's resonance. These symbols often appear long before you understand their depth, drawing your attention even as a child. They're reminders placed in flesh to nudge you toward remembrance. Not everyone will see them for what they are, but the spirit within you recognizes truth before the mind can explain it. These lines are not simply skin deep. They function like spiritual maps, pointing to a path the soul has known long before language existed. Maybe it's a cross, a sequence of shapes, a mysterious curve that never goes unnoticed. Each one carries a vibration that aligns with something sacred. They appear during seasons of transition or stir with new light when you're about to step into greater spiritual clarity. These aren't flaws, they are signals, sacred identifiers that say, you were chosen before you knew how to choose. And once you recognize them, everything shifts. What once felt like a quirk begins to feel like a code, a living, breathing confirmation that you're not just here to observe, you're here to activate, to shift spaces, to bless others through your very presence. The hands that carry these marks aren't just functional, they are consecrated, and those who bear them, they are carriers of hidden messages, keys, and mantles, waiting to be fully awakened. This is your moment. Hit subscribe now and step into something greater. Don't miss out. If you feel God's presence, you can tap the join button below to become part of the first chosen ones and receive the most important revelations early. This realization isn't the conclusion, it's the catalyst. Once your eyes are open, the question is no longer, is this real? The question becomes, what will I do with this knowing? These signs aren't there for decoration.